Hi YouTube. So today I want to talk about this very exciting release by Notoriously Morbid. I don't think I've been so excited for a makeup release ever. Um, so yeah, I just couldn't wait to make a video about this. And before I get started, before I get too involved and I forget, this look now that I'm wearing is actually from something I'm doing on Instagram. I'm doing just different looks. I don't know if you want to check out my Instagram. It's Esmeralda Glows. And today I decided to do two different looks with one palette, and I used the Midnight Masquerade palette from Pure Cosmetics that we got in the October Alter Ego BoxyCharm. So if you want more details on that, you can look at my other videos. I actually did like a whole unboxing and everything. I also did, this is my Frankenstein look, and then I also did a Draculara look from Monster High. I'm doing quite a few different little simple makeup looks on Instagram, so if you're interested in checking that out, please do. Okay, anyway, Notoriously Morbid is releasing quite a few things that are going to be seasonal. They released a Hocus Pocus a little eyeshadow quad. I think that's actually sold out. I'm not sure if they're going to be bringing that back. They also have an Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas highlighter. It's like a green shimmery highlighter, which is cool. But the thing that I'm most excited for are these multichromatic highlighters. I am so stoked. I cannot wait. There's 6 different highlighters, and they're in 2 different collections. One's called Ghostly Tales and one's called Ghastly Tales. For this video, I'm going to be talking about the palette called Ghastly Tales. So for the Ghastly Tales palette, it's 3 different multichromatic highlighters, and each of them are named after a different, like, spooky story. So it's just perfect for Halloween, or if you're somebody like me, it's perfect for any time of year because 1, it's gorgeous, but 2, it's just really fun. So I have the names here of the 3 different highlighters that are in the Ghastly Tales palette, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of those spooky stories. So for the first one in the palette is named Borden, and if you are familiar with different scary stories or hauntings, then you would know that that's a reference to Lizzie Borden. The color of this highlighter, it shifts from violet to red to bronze. It will look incredible on dark skinned people. I'm a little worried that I'm too light for it. I know it would look absolutely amazing on somebody who's darker than me. I was assured by other people in the group that like it would look good on me, it would look good on people no matter what color you are, and you just have to use a lighter hand, but it is stunning. I really want it, but I'm like kind of like afraid to buy it because I'm like, what if it's too dark for me? But anyway, this is based off of the reported hauntings in the Borden house in Massachusetts. Apparently, okay, so for those of you who are not familiar with the Lizzie Borden story, it is rumored that she murdered her dad and her stepmother with an axe. She was acquitted of all charges, but still a lot of people think that she's guilty. I obviously have no idea. I don't know. It wasn't there, but they didn't have enough evidence to convict her, and she was let go. And a lot of people really disagree, on whether it was her or not. But regardless of who it was, her father and stepmother were murdered in that house with an axe pretty gruesomely. And it's known to be, a hub of paranormal activity. You can actually rent a room for the night. It's a bed and breakfast now, and it has an excellent rating. There's like 500 or 600 different reviews on that bed and breakfast if you go online, and it's almost all 5-star reviews. So it's got an excellent rating. Apparently, it comes with a nice breakfast, and apparently it's a really nice place to stay. People have said that it's haunted, that they hear voices, they hear footsteps, turning doorknobs and all that. So I think that's something I might check out, because I actually have some news about my own personal life. I will definitely be up in that area sometime, so I think I might check that out. I have to see how much it is for one night. Okay. The second highlighter in the palette is called Bathsheba, and that is based off of a legend surrounding a woman named Bathsheba. I think her last name was Sherman, in Rhode Island. It was like 200 years ago. She was babysitting a baby, and the baby died. They found like a needle or whatever had like gone into its neck, a sewing needle. So it was believed that people said that it was Bathsheba that did it because she was the one who was watching the baby at the time. But, they put her on trial and everything, and they found that apparently, it wasn't her fault, that it was just that the baby was laid down into a, a bed or cradle, whatever, that there had been a sewing needles had fallen into. Or something like that. I don't know. She was proven innocent and she was let go, but people still believed that she did it. Now, there was apparently at the time, there was a lot of rumors about Bathsheba. Apparently, she practiced, she practiced different pagan customs, and which was back then was like practically illegal. And she was also a very attractive woman, very beautiful, very coveted, and people were jealous of her. And we've heard this story time and again. So, personally, do I think she did it? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, but I know that I feel like it's really wrong the way that if you've seen the movie The Conjuring, they talk about Bathsheba and they like totally demonize her. I'm not sure, of course I don't know if she did it or not, but I don't approve of the Warrens, Lorraine and Ed Warren. I think that they're full of lies. I believe in ghosts, and I do believe in things being unexplained, but I've noticed that those two, their whole thing is about spreading anti-pagan propaganda. And as a pagan, or just even as a human, I'm against that. So the movies, based off of them or whatever are really interesting. But of course, like I said, the anti-pagan propaganda is strong and it's disgusting. So, I really don't know what the case was with Bathsheba, but I know she wouldn't be the first woman who was accused of being responsible for a baby's murder, if like a baby died in their sleep or whatever else, just simply because she was pagan or Jewish or, beautiful or whatever. So, but that one, it has a lot of different colors in it. It shifts between a bunch of different pastel colors. So orange, pink, green, and purple, all of those are pastels. And it's very cute. And then the last highlighter in the palette is called Amity, and that is for the Amityville house. So the Amityville house is a house that is in New York. It's about like a half an hour from New York City, I think. And in the 70s, a man, the family that lived there, what were their names? I wrote it down actually. The DeFeo families. Robert DeFeo Jr., he was in his early 20s. He murdered his parents and his siblings in that house. So yeah, about like a year later, a new family moved in called the Lutzes, and they moved from like really far away, and I guess like they had never heard, they did not know anything about it. They did not know that anybody was murdered there or anything like that. They were just like, we got a good deal on a house, sweet, moved in. All of a sudden they started having a lot of paranormal activity, and apparently there were like a lot of witnesses to it, that there was just like all kinds of creepy stuff going on. And then they found out later, I think it was like one of them like was talking about it, and then somebody was just like, oh, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it's haunted, considering that, a year before you guys moved in, there was a bunch of people murdered there. And they were like, what? So anyway, it's a very interesting story. And it's actually what the Amityville horror was based off of. So yeah, anyway, the highlighter for that shifts. It's very interesting. This is more of a cool tone. It's a silver violet. It shifts to green and to blue. So a very nice otherworldly look. Well, I guess all these would be otherworldly, but this one, has like more of an alien feel to it to me. Yeah, all of those sound absolutely gorgeous. I think my favorite out of all of them would probably be Borden. But that's the one that I said it seems like it would look amazing on dark skin, but I'm not sure if it'll look great on me. I don't know. I was told it would, so I might try it out. But this month I can only afford to buy one of the new things, so I decided to buy a highlighter from the other multichromatic highlighter palette that she's putting out now, and it's called Ghostly Tales. So I will do a video on the Ghostly Tale palette right after this. I just, I don't have enough. I don't know if I have enough time like on my camera to be able to do those all at once, but I will go ahead and get this up and do the other one. Well, if you like this one, thank you so much for watching. Oh, you know what? Before I head out, I should probably tell you how much these cost. If you want the entire palette, they're like these big highlighter pans, it's like a set of three of them, Borden, Bathsheba, and Amityville. They are $42.50 for the whole palette. If you want to just buy a single pan, like if there's only one or two colors that you like, they are $18 individually. And I think they're a little larger too. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.